water, earth, fire, and air. In this video, I'll be talking about the air signs. And so what does the element show? How are they grouped together? The element shows the temperament of the sign. It helps put together the full archetype. The element, we could say, helps describe and interpret the zodiac sign. You could have a water sun sign or say fire sun sign, but if you have a lot of other planets in air signs, in one or many air signs, you could be air dominant. Understanding a dominant element in our chart alone can give us a huge understanding behind a lot of our tendencies. The air element represents the signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air relates to the mental realm, the intellect, communication, and relationships with others. In my previous element videos, I talk about how you could see in our evolution how water is the essence of life, the sea of fertility, the womb of the ocean mother from which all life emerged. After coming out of the water, we touch the earth. So with earth, think of your feet firmly planted on the ground, the solid earth. Earth imposes form, creates structure that makes up the beauty of the world. Then we discovered fire, a chemical process that was significant in making us different from other living creatures. With the addition of fire to the evolutionary process, we are now able to expand and grow beyond what we have already known or created. So fire brought us cooking, which freed up time, which then brought us an awareness of our communication with others and connections. Darwin himself considered fire and language the two most significant achievements of humanity. Why? Because humans forge connections through language. And so the air signs rule over the intellect, communication, language. The air signs are what we could call the human signs in some way. But water is basically the emotional body. Earth is the physical body. Fire is the spiritual body, making air the mental body. The air element refers to the cognitive or thinking process of an individual. This making the air signs being known as the intellectuals of the zodiac. So before getting into simply describing the characteristics of the air signs, I want us to think about the literal element of air. Think about the air surrounding us and touching our skin at this very moment. Air equals winds, clouds. Think about your breath. Focus on it. Air, where would we be without it? Fresh air is a source of instant nourishment. You fill your lungs with deep breath. The fact is also we all breathe the same air. Air signs are intelligent, and they have this direct sense of interconnectedness we have with the vast cycles. They're excellent at synthesizing. So if consciously living, air signs are born with the awareness and values towards truth, justice, and equality. Because they're the ones less attached to their physical form or emotions, they are able to be objective of themselves in relation to others. This detachment also gives them good sociability, as they are good at relating with others. The air element is a unifying characteristic that allows the air signs to adapt easily and efficiently to new thoughts and ideas and people. Air signs are able to give and take ideas and information, just as we're taking in and giving out this element of air as we breathe in and out. They're great at articulating themselves and breaking down concepts, as I'm attempting to do right now. Air signs are the ones to bring in the fast, witty comments. They flourish around others. Being a Gemini rising, but with a water sign Mercury, planet of communication, I definitely envy this. However, having a hyperactive mind can make air signs hard to pin down. we cannot capture or tame air. They can also possibly be aloof with those closest to them. We like to associate moodiness with the water signs, but when you think about air, it can also be hot or cold, tempestuous. A hyperactive mind can exhaust an air sign. And many times, air signs' way of escaping is through communicative media, TV, video games, reading, or nowadays social media through our phones, texting rather than talking, in other ways mind-altering substances. Internet blogging can be an outlet for a lot of air signs to communicate emotions that they can't easily express in person. So having too much air can make up someone that has an overactive mind, overanalyzing, always thinking, or labeling every part of their world and being, which in the end can leave them with a lot of anxiety. Or having all these epic ideas and thoughts, but having a hard time putting them into action. They'll be the friends knowing how to solve yours and all the world's dilemmas, but can't solve their own. Going a little back to the anxiety thing, there is so much more to us than our ability to think. As though our ability to think is evidence of our existence. You can't be so philosophical and contemplative all the time that you forget about the outside world when you're just lost in thought. Rationalizing everything and not being grounded or centered will have life blowing you around like air, always based on the information that you just found, which could contradict itself later. The need to learn to meditate can be extremely beneficial for air signs. They might be the ones that need it the most. So they can learn to listen to their inner voice rather than having outside sources controlling your journey, and you can have better ways of implementing your ideas into practice. For close friends and lovers, you have to understand the air signs' needs for personal freedom. They are free spirits, but you know that when they come around again, they're almost worth the absence. They'll be the ones with the memory to remember all the cute little things, and they'll have the best stories and insight on their experiences to share. They will always keep a partner interested because they're never boring. They're very intelligent. And air signs are typically intelligent, it's true, but they can run the risk of feeling like they have all the knowledge and becoming frustrated at others that don't share their views and disregarding others' personal feelings. Air signs need careers that allow them to work their mental muscles. So someone with too little air, you'd find being concerned more with their feelings, actions, and material concerns. A lack of perception and inability to reflect on life and oneself, which can cause some problems. Little air can tend to not think things through logically and acting in ways that others might see as unreasonable. Too little air can also lack to plan ahead, just thinking of themselves in the moment, not considering others, not weighing out different perspectives, in need of some fresh air. Okay, so now compared to the other elements, you could see that the air element is the only invisible one. Air reminds us that there's so much more to the world that we can see based on our limited experiences and relationships. There's so much more to this world that we can see based on our environments and upbringing. And perception is needed to be happy amongst others, and most importantly within ourselves. Air also teaches us that we truly never stop learning, and we must grow and change as the world does. The different air signs express the air element in what is called a modality. Each of the 4 elements presents a cardinal expression, a fixed expression and a mutable expression. 4 elements times 3 modalities equals 12 distinct energy fields. Gemini are early learning, awareness of self. Libra are interpersonal relationships, awareness of others. And Aquarius are collective or universal integration with society. But I will make a separate video for each of the zodiac signs. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.